watching Monday's Not Just Crew.
Well, a very good morning, everybody at Not Just Crew. Today, I have the pleasure of inviting somebody very special into the studio. Now, you may know him, or you may not, but he goes by the name of Trevor Jenkins. Now, obviously, myself and Trevor started Not Just Crew 5 years ago now. And it's been very, very eventful over the last 5 years. But probably none so much as what happened at the back end of last year in October, when my mate Trev, he kind of he was having problems with his eyesight, to be fair. So he wanted to get some corrective surgery. Now, this is going back in October. So nice, simple. He wanted to do this just to obviously a better quality of life, to get this corrective surgery in October. And well, let's just say since then, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. Now, a few surgeries under his belt and like a good period of total blindness. Yeah, absolutely shocking, horrendous. I can't even fathom or imagine, as none of yous probably in the group would also, unless you've gone through this yourself, what it must feel like. Now, we're going to find out exactly what it's feel like. We're going to bring Trev in, and I'm pleased to say he's fully recovered now. He's back flying. Just did his training course and did his first flight just last week. So I'm so glad that he's fit and healthy again. So here he comes.
Hello, wow. Yeah, definitely back.
Can you see me? Can you see me all right?
I can see you absolutely perfectly. Yeah, and it's honestly, until it's happened to you, you never realise how important your eyesight is. We knew it was important, but when you've actually lost it and you actually have the opportunity to get it back again, it's definitely.
Well, just for our viewers, Trev, I'm going to actually show a picture of obviously post surgery. Look at this.
Yeah, that's wow. I remember that my daughter took that on the day of the second operation. That's when I was fully blind. She said, "Should I get a picture?" And I think she said either yourself or her put it online. And but it was horrible because I couldn't actually see that picture at the time.
Well, which eye was it that you had done then?
I had my left eye done first, and that was
really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Am I right? Yeah. So, what was your question again?
You're right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Right. Listen. Unbelievable. I mean, because we were talking through it, and you were telling us what you had to go through. We're not going to hold back here. Let's tell all of our audience basically what the process was with the surgeries and what actually did to your eyeballs. You know what I mean? We'll go into all of that. But from the very start, I want you to tell everybody in Not Just Crew how it started, because obviously I'll give a little brief introduction there, but how it all started and what transpired.
Yeah, right. Well, October, although I had my first consultation in September, I wanted corrective eye surgery. So not laser, which used to fill me with terror, but no, it was just that they literally replace your eye lens, and it's good in later life. It means you won't get a cataract or anything, and it sort of improves your vision. It's like inserting contact lenses into your eyes, and I had that done in a great place in Harley Street. The operation, it's not the best, but it didn't really hurt. If anything, it's the fear factor. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that operation went really, really well. No complaints with the surgeons then. In fact, I was told probably not to fly for about a week, which I didn't. And it was brilliant just to wake up and not put contact lenses in. Then further along, you have to go for a few checkups. It felt as if I was looking through a dirty windscreen. The vision was clear, but it was just looked a bit dirty. And then if you watch a film, sometimes you get a black line at the top and the bottom when you're watching sort of wide angle. And I was seeing that, but I thought that was literally part of the healing process. so bit by bit, it didn't carry on. I was expecting it to go, but it didn't. My eye started to feel really, really dry. So I went back to the clinic, and they told me just to nip up to Moorfields Eye Hospital, specialist eye hospital. And I did that. I say nip up. It wasn't exactly quick. It was a bit of a pain to get there, and they have an A department. I was in there for a good few hours, and then they literally said, look, we have to operate. We have to operate today. I've got 2 detached retinas. Now I've got to add here, it wasn't the fault of the surgery I'd had. It was indirect. So the surgery was successful, but I think I probably flew with a cold. And the pressure of flying again, so I should have not flown for say about 2 weeks rather than the actual week I did.
How much did that actually cost you?
It's not cheap for both eyes. We're talking about seven and a half grand. So it will pay for itself, but it'll probably take about 10 or 20 years by not getting my contact lenses every month. And then look, even though this has happened, I've got to say now, anyone think going for that surgery, don't go by my example. It was just one of those things, and I would still have it done now because eyesight is absolutely perfect again.
So your eyesight now is way better than what it was prior to all these complications.
Yeah, absolutely. Eyesight, absolutely perfect. So no regrets, and it's still so nice to wake up and not put contact lenses in. But obviously, during going through what I went through, I was told because of the detached retinas, I'd have a chance of my eyesight coming back. And remember, it was a double detached one, so at least if I'd had one, I could have done something. But no, this was both of them, and I had a chance of between 30 and 60% of my vision coming back to normal. As it happens, again, they were looking down on me, the gods, and it's 100%. In fact, I went about 2 weeks ago, and I've got 20/20 vision now.
So what you like for reading it, because you've still got your glasses and stuff.
Yeah,
so
reading glasses, but I knew this didn't have anything to do with the operation because I've got an astigmatism in both eyes. And my reading eyesight was actually really, really good, but I just wanted my long vision back because there's nothing worse than sort of waking up and not being able to see in the distance and going into the bathroom to put your contact lenses on. Mm-hmm. But so, yeah, I've got reading glasses. The actual prescription is very light. We're only talking about people know prescriptions, talking about a +1, possibly a 1.25. If you know about eyes, if you know about reading glasses, that's not too strong.
That's the same as mine.
Yeah. So it's not too bad. But the actual procedure is, again, it wasn't painful. In fact, it was quite hallucinogenic because the scalpel does come towards you. You've got so many painkillers, you don't feel it, but it is a local anaesthetic, so you do still see everything. And when they cut through, I saw these geometric shapes. It was very strange.
But didn't you have, many years ago, you had some sort of medical condition that, you feel as if contributed to these?
Yeah. Many years ago in the 80s, I had something called Reiter syndrome, which makes you. And this could have been, it could have been a factor in all this, where your eyes are very susceptible to inflammation of the eyes. And also in India, a couple of years, I say about a year and a half ago, I had something called bacterial conjunctivitis. Now that came through on a plane. I was literally working in a galley, and a passenger went past and sneezed, and something went into my eye. I washed it out quickly, didn't think too much of it, and within 2 weeks, I was in a clinic with these eye drops, and that was horrible. So that could have well been through it. In fact, that actually left some scarring on the eye, which they did mention to me when I went through my consultation to even get the replacement done.
So what? They sneezed in your face?
Well, not on purpose. I don't. Yeah. I don't think they're that polite. No, just they walk through, sneeze. They did try and cover their nose, but typically right into my eye. It was disgusting at the time. But yeah, no, they certainly didn't do it on purpose.
That's the glamorous side of flight attendant life, in it.
We love it. We love it.
All over the food, all over your face.
Yeah, right in the eye. And I think at that time it was just coming. You know what it's like on board. Literally just come up to breakfast time, so none of the washrooms are free.
Yeah.
And I went to wash it out. I did manage to wash it out, but that was about 25 minutes later. So had I gotten there quickly, I might have been all right because I had these saline drops, which would have sort of cleaned it out. But no, 20 minutes before I could get in there. So
Right.
yeah.
So tell us about you've got double detached retinas. You need this surgery. You kind of, when you went in there, you kind of I remember you were going like quite regular and all that, but then this one day you just kind of rocked up there, not thinking much about it, and then you were told the news there and then that you needed surgery and you needed it. Was it that day or was it the next day?
Yeah, it was actually two operations. I'd been out with my my new sister. Those that don't realise, I found a sister through DNA, and we were out having a lovely lunch, and then this is when I started feeling the eyes were a bit dry. Went to the opticians. They said, "Look, just go to Moorfields, get checked out." So I went there, and I already had plans for the afternoon. So I thought, right, I can get my eyes checked out. They'll give me some drops, and then if you remember, in the afternoon, in fact, I was going off to interview somebody for Not Just Crew. That was what I was going to do now. So I had all these plans, and they literally said, "We've got to operate today. Won't get both eyes done." So I think my first one was on the 11th of February, and the second one, and I won't forget this Valentine's Day ever, was on February the 14th, and they literally said, "We've got to do this now." Literally.
So like the first surgery that's undertaken, describe at the time, because like I'm guessing like everything's moving at such a fast pace, you know, and like you're just taking this information on, and obviously it's not just you affected here, it's your family as well. You know what I mean? Your house full of girls, and your new sister. But like, how's everybody taking this news? What needs to be done? And you just wouldn't fully be aware of what the implications are going to be post surgery. Like, you know, it's just like, all right, he's got to have this surgery on his eyes. Okay, let's get it done. But like, I'm guessing there was no time to kind of process what the aftermath of all of this was going to look like or feel like or be the impact it's going to have on your family.
Yeah. Well, yes and no to that. It was going so fast, but you have got a bit of time to process it because the waiting is so long. In fact, when they first told me I had a detached retina, I think I messaged you because they sort of put a arrow on your eye to show which one it is. And what I was shocked about is the fact they were going to do it there and then today. And I hadn't really heard of detached. I'd only heard of detached retinas in boxing, like a boxing fight, and they got detached retina. So I didn't really know what it meant, and I never realised. And I should, on hindsight, really, anything to do with your visions, you know, is critical and valuable. But I never realised that you wouldn't. It's a possibility you'll never get your eyesight back. So if your detached retina comes from the centre, that's it. That's your vision gone. Lucky enough, mine was underneath. But yeah, anyway, I went on a tangent there. The actual process, what I was thinking, I didn't know at that point. I was just still in shock. And again, I suppose the gravitas of it hadn't still really hit. It was just a procedure, and especially as I'd been through lens replacement surgery a couple of months before, I was sort of slightly used to it. And I just thought it'd be a simple repair job. It was only later on that the real, I don't know, thought of what I might lose came to the forefront.
Trev, do they give you like any? What's the word? Any counselling or any kind of like speeches, or do they have a specialist to talk you through?
Not in the emotional or psychological side. In fact, that's one of the things sort of Julie and I sort of discuss afterwards. There was no game plan. I suppose from their point of view, they're so used to it. They must see so many detached retinas every single day. I was just another case and another number. But at that point, I wasn't really thinking about it. It was only sort of later on. At that time, I suppose the only real fear was what actually happens in the operation, which was sort of looming, because there was a queue they pick out, because there's so many come through. I didn't realise it was such a big thing. Hence, I was at Moorfields Eye Hospital, so it's going to happen a lot. But you don't realise there is such a list. So they say, right, you're going to be number say 3 or 4 into surgery today, and you're just waiting to be sort of taken. It's a bit like a conveyor belt, really. So I suppose the empathetic and side of them, it was just a job.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because everything happened so quickly. In your case, there was clearly no time for any of that service beforehand. I wonder if anybody has a bit of a long period to wait for the surgery. I wonder if it's something that they offer, or something that they maybe should offer if there is time permitting. But even post surgery, they should kind of offer some sort of service where you can talk to people and they can explain that this is normal, you're going to experience these kind of feelings and this sense of isolation, total cut off. Because so let's go into, this is a gross bit, right? But I find it incredible what that actually do to your eyeballs.
Oh. Right, now this is now I'm glad I didn't actually know about this till afterwards, because it's I'm glad the actual surgery exists, and it's quite ingenious, really. So, but what happens? So they give you loads of eye drops, make your eye numb, and then a needle, right? A needle goes into your actual eyeball, so the white bit here, and it sucks all the liquid out of actual eyeball, which means it goes like a raisin. And then in the eye socket behind, they inject this gas, and how it doesn't come out, I have no idea. And it's a long range gas. In my case, one was 8 weeks, the other one was 12 weeks. Now, as your eyeball refills with its own liquid, it pushes. Imagine that's the detached retina. This is your eyeball. As your eyeball expands in the eye socket, it pushes up the retina to rejoin it. So it's like an expanding football, and it holds the retina back in place, and that's where the healing comes from. And it is quite a strange feeling, almost as strange as what happens later when it's recovering. But I'll probably chat to you about that in a minute. But that was the process on both eyes. Second eye, I suppose I sort of knew what was going to happen. The only difference then was that the fact I had no vision at all, apart from seeing a bit of light.
I think you described it as what did you describe it as? Was it like a prune or something?
Yeah,
it's
like a raisin. It's like a dehydrated prune, or it's all the liquids come out. So
you've got beautiful eyes, Trev.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know now. At least I can see them.
You haven't got Betty Davis eyes. You've got prune eyes.
No, definitely got prune eyes there.
It's incredible, isn't it? What they actually do, what these people can do to. Yeah, insane. It's and then obviously when they reverse the process, and obviously they're putting, because after you've had all that done, they're kind of putting the gases and all of that back into your eyeball, aren't they?
Yeah. So the actual eye socket, that's where the gas goes.
I'll tell you what, right? I'll stop there for a second, because I want to kind of I want to know how you felt after that surgery. So obviously you come round, you've had that surgery done. Right, you've got your patches over your eyes. What's going on? What's going on with Trev?
Right. Well, the first eye was a bit of a shock, because remember, this is done over 2 days, only because they couldn't fit me in for both. So when the first eye was done, I still had obviously my other eye, although it felt a bit dry. And I got home, and I actually just fancied a curry, believe it or not. When the fear and vulnerability sort of set in was when the second eye was done, because I was completely blind in London. Yeah, and what a good look that was. So feeling very, very vulnerable. My daughter had to come in on the train, and it was going through when I first went. I just got on the train myself, coming out of that hospital at rush hour, going on the tube and then on the overground back to Harrow, was the most vulnerable I think I've ever felt in my life, because I was truly relying upon people's kindness to sort of when my daughter was literally guiding me through. This is when I thought I am blind and I'm going to have to get used to this quickly, and you just haven't got a clue. So she was helping through a rush hour terminal at Euston, onto the underground, onto the train, and it was horrible. Each step I took, I didn't know if I was going to put it through to the gap from the train and the platform, and it was horrible. But it's quite surprising how quick your senses come to play, because I was zooming in on sounds. I could hear somebody opening a crisp packet way over there, or there was even a row going on right at the end of the train, but I sort of could hear every word. So yeah, that's when I thought this is not going to be good, and I couldn't wait to get home. And I thought, once I'm home, I'm not coming out of that house at least for a few months. But that's what I wanted for myself. It's horrible.
But didn't you have to, like, because obviously with the gases in your eyes and stuff like that, you had to like be in a position.
Yeah.
Explain to the viewers like what position you had to be.
Yeah,
in for a long period.
Assume the position. No, it's literally, so you have to literally. I think I'm not sure what they call it. It begins with P, but yeah, you have to put your head down with some cushions over a table, and the idea is the gases rise, and you have to do that all day. You're allowed a 15-minute sort of break every hour, but even then you're sort of meant to keep your head down and move around. But as I say, even when I got up, I couldn't see, so it was hard to find the sofa again and get the pillows in the right position. It was horrible, and every minute felt like an hour. When you literally have nothing to do, it's not like if you break a leg or anything like that, and you could just sit down, watch Netflix, TV. The girls before they left would say, "Oh, what do you want us to put on?" So it was literally just the radio, and I didn't have an option. If I don't like a program, I couldn't turn it over because I literally couldn't see. So I was just zoomed in on one voice. Lucky enough, it was Talk Sport, which I quite like anyway. But yeah, that's all I could listen to all day.
Were any of your cats injured during the process of your blindness? You didn't stand on them.
Yeah, sadly, I think a couple of them probably got kicked at the time. Not on purpose, by the way, for any animal lovers out there. We dearly love our cats. But yeah, I just can't see. I was lucky in the respect that once I was home, I suppose I know the outlay of my own house. But even then, it was like hit or miss. And you've got to remember, my daughters and Julie were sort of out at work, so I was literally on my own. But yeah, it was. If anything, it was more the fear of thinking, is this ever going to be better? And not being able to see, because I say literally, when every minute feels like an hour, you got nothing to. You literally have nothing to do. So it's that's when your imagination goes wild, because nothing to do. And at that point, I just didn't know whether I'd ever get my vision back, and if it did come back, to what extent.
So, like you're saying, your imagination started like drifting off and all that. So, like, in what way? What was going on in your head?
Well, lovely things I could have been doing. The technical term, I suppose, is feeling very sorry for yourself. Thinking, imagine yourself on a beach with your family and all these things you can do. So dark thoughts like, as you know, I've just bought a new car, paid off my mortgage, and I had all this I consider quite an exciting life ahead without sort of a lot of financial pressures. And thinking, God, I'm going to have to sell this car. Will we have to move to a house if I'm fully blind? Will we have to move to a different house that sort of suits me better? Will Julie want to, will my family sort of break up? Because of it, my job, flying, will I ever go back flying?
I can understand where you're coming through all those, because there was a few times I was trying to put myself in the same mindset as what you are, and like just the uncertainty of like, are you going to get your vision restored, and the impact that it would have on your family. Yeah, all normal things like, does my missus still want to be with a blind man? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, like, am I going to be a hindrance for the rest of like our lives? You know, but you've got to remember, like, there's a lot of people who are blind out there, and they live normal life. They live as normal as it possibly can be, you know. And with it, time, you know, it becomes, they live full lives, don't they? You know what I mean? Just they cannot see, but like, that's just it's just a small part.
Yeah, that did cross my mind a lot as well. Thinking that even when you go through training for cabin crew, I remember a couple of times a blind person came in and they talked about their life. And at one point, I was quite resigned to it. I thought, right, okay, this is it. It's happened. I'm just going to have to get used to it. And then, I wouldn't say I was 100% accepting, because I knew there was still a chance that it could come back. And I thought, I prayed that even if just one eye came back, I'd be happy. And even one eye just came back 60%, I'd be happy. But it was the thought of not being able to see anything at all. Even a blurred image would have been better than not.
So was it just pitch darkness at the very beginning? Just pitch dark blackness?
It was pitch black, but occasionally you'd get bits of lights, but I wasn't sure if it was real lights or my mind sort of playing sort of tricks on me. And I'll tell you the strangest thing actually was waking up after a night's sleep and it still being black and dark.
Wow.
And not know, because the other thing I'm sure we've all done it, especially as cabin crew, is clock watching. You've got to check in for a flight, waking up and not knowing what time it was, and obviously not wanting to wake Julie up or anything. And so you literally just had to sort of guess. Again, it's these small things coming back now. It was the frustration of it. You know, how long have I been asleep? You know, is it actually light outside? Yeah.
Does it affect your tiredness? Because, like, obviously, you know, like, your mind is like, right, you wake up in the morning, like you say, you can see it's normal daylight. You've got a full day of daylight going on. And then when it starts getting dark and the nights draw in, you suddenly become tired. But, like, when you can't see anything, does that affect your sleep patterns?
Yeah, that's really good point. It did at the beginning. And then I'd say about a month into it, you just get into some kind of sort of routine. Like Julie would say, look, you know, it's time to go sort of bed now. And yeah, I sort of I'd go to sleep. But again, I still don't know what time until a bit later on when the sort of vision did start sort of coming back slowly.
And what do you do? Like, just say, like, if you obviously you want to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, what was that like?
Right now, that was
way around. But
yeah, that was a bit of a mission, because I had to really go slowly. So rather than just waking up, knowing where the toilet is, just go and come back. I literally had to go out of bed and almost go an angle and slide my footsteps one after a time. And realizing, right, this is the door out. I'm going right. It's normally about 10 steps left, and then to the right. So you get used to it. But it was always guesswork, not including the cats that could have been sleeping, as you say, on the floor. Heard a couple of squirrels.
Did you always sit down while you were having like a number one?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because your aim's not the best, is it?
No. Well,
I remember coming a cropper a few times on a night time.
Yeah, it was a case of just sitting down and going. So yeah.
I know I shouldn't be laughing, but like it's crazy, isn't it? It's like, I mean, what, we're into July now. Does this seem like a bit of a distant memory? Does, like, you know, all of this? It's like, because
it does now. Yeah,
long ago.
It really does. It seems like a total, because the vision has come back so well, and just shows what a marvelous job they did at Moorfields. It does seem like a distant memory now. And you've got to remember, I've only just gone back flying. You know, I literally had I had a course at the end of June going into beginning of July. Had my first flight back, and thank you, Emma and crew, for looking after me. and it was great to get on. And I even sort of said in the briefing, because there was a time when I had enough of flying, but when that choice is taken away from you, it gives you a different feeling. So that it was so nice to get back in the air. So I've only literally done one flight, and even then, and I've got to, even then, although I've been cleared to fly, and everything, on takeoff, I thought, God, how's this pressure going to affect my eyes? And that, and lucky enough, it hasn't. I'll tell you what I did miss as well as flying was literally just going to the gym. It was horrible, and that wasn't a case that I just couldn't see. It's just because I used to love the punch bag. It could be a case of like detaching my retinas again. So it was horrible. But yeah, lucky enough, I'm allowed to go back to the gym again.
Did you ever get any pain though? Like, you know, you're flying at like 40,000 feet. Was there any a time during that flight where you started getting little pains, like in your eye sockets or anything?
Yeah, I think they might have been self-induced because I was sort of waiting for one, but it didn't. Yeah. And every time I even almost blinked, it was, oh yes, this is going to be the beginning of it. And so it was horrible. But once I landed back into Heathrow, I knew it was all okay. But yeah, there was always that fit, and probably still will be for quite a while.
Do you know what? It's like really weird, like having this conversation with you, because like we say, this all started like just October last year, and you had the surgeries in February. But like we never see people for a long period of time, like in aviation, do it? It's like we'll fly with somebody, might bump into them 2 years later. You tell them, you try and explain what's happened to you, and like people are like knocked off their feet, and they're like, what? But like no one will ever truly understand what it must be like to go through, because it's you own it. You know what I mean? You've been through it. So like if you can like sum up like that experience, like, you know, go for it. Let us know.
Well, as it happens, I did sort of make a video diary literally after it happened, and it was quite strange at first because I had to get the girls to set up the camera for me. And the reason I did it is, first, it gave me something to do. It gave me sort of a mission. And I thought, even if it's bad for me, it will give somebody a chance to know what they were going through. First couple of times, disaster. Katie, my middle daughter, would come back and I'd say, oh, what did you get on camera? I said, Dad, you weren't even anywhere near the camera. So it was the first couple of shots of that were a bit of a disaster, and I thought, right, I'm gonna try and make a recording every day, which I have done. But I'd already started the documentary about having the original eye surgery, about what it's like to have lens replacement. So there will be a show going out. I don't look very pretty in it, because one of the other things it does do, I think there's a some kind of steroid, so it gives you like a moon face, like just really round. But I thought, I'm going to keep all that in. I don't care how it looks. People have got to see what it goes through. So there'll be two coming out. There'll just be one on the retinal surgery itself, and one on the lens replacement, and then sort of perhaps another one that takes you all the way through. But I don't want anyone to sort of worry about having that lens replacement surgery. Yeah. Mine was just unlucky. It doesn't help with this job. I've got to add, Julie also had the surgery done at the same time. Didn't have any problems whatsoever, you know. So it was just, you know, it was just a bad case. But the surgeon who did the actual lens replacement, absolutely perfect. It wasn't anything to do with their work. I'm not blaming anyone for that. It was just bad luck. But a big shout out to the guys at Moorfield, which, okay, I will shout them out. And we're going to be for our Not Just Crew's 5th birthday in Manchester. I'm going to be raising money for Moorfields for the awesome work that they've really done.
I just want to go back as well, that we touched on it a little bit earlier in this show, how frightening it was when you were making that journey for, you know, back to your home, public transport, like the sounds, like what you could feel around you. How isolated and afraid did you feel in that moment?
Yeah, all the way through, every train, you know, because some it's sort of a bit vanity, but I knew even though I couldn't see them, I knew everyone would be sort of looking at me, not for that long. They'd probably just look up and thought, oh, someone's just had eye surgery. But you're conscious of everyone sort of looking at you. And so many times you used to being on a train, and I was with a sort of daughter, and I felt I needed a bit of conversation with her every few seconds. Well, sometimes on the train, normally you wouldn't have a conversation for 10 minutes. You get on playing with your phone or whatever. So it's that constant reassurance that they were still there. And then, just the getting off the train, obviously, is a step down. It was horrible. And I just don't know how people who are visually impaired do that every single day. You do get sort of I don't think you get used to it. So I rephrase that. You become accepting of it.
Did you ever get angry? Did you ever like kind of lose it at a time where like you got that frustrated and sick and fed up? Did you ever like lose your mind at times?
Yeah, not in front of it, only internally. Hopefully never out, because I knew it was no one's fault. But it was, I'm sure everyone who said this is that any kind of accident is like, why me? So I did get that. But then once the eyes started coming around again, it was like real hope. But it's such a long process. It's I've got time to talk about the healing process, getting your vision back. Right. So what happens? This eye, my left eye, was an 8-week gas. My right eye was a 12-week gas. And as the gas releases, your eyes become like a spirit level. And the only way to describe it is if you've ever had like swimming goggles on with a bit of water in, and that's what it looks like. It's like a spirit level, and bit by bit it goes down, but it goes down so incredibly slowly that you don't wake up one day and think, oh, it's gone down loads, because it doesn't. It's literally bit by bit. But the relief when that first one was completely gone was I was so excited. I couldn't wait to even just walk up to Morrison's by myself, the supermarket, and I thought, right, I'm going to go and have a Morrison's breakfast, because I actually felt independent again. I felt like a little kid who was allowed outside for the first time, and that was amazing. And bit by bit, and it seemed to take forever and a day since my right eye started going down, and when they were both cleared was amazing. I thought, right, I want to do this and this, but I was told you still can't go anywhere near the gym, exercise little, but sort of often. So I still couldn't do anything. But yeah, I mean, the relief, and especially with flying, because they had a fear of like gas residue, I wasn't still allowed to fly for at least another 2 months after that.
Mad. Now, you've done it again? Stop it.
That's because I can't see.
Now, I hope when you kind of got your vision back, one of the first things you said was to Julie, you are beautiful. You are the most incredibly beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I never want to lose sight of that again.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Yeah, because you said the same to me.
Well, I did. Yeah, it's but honestly, it's such a valuable asset. All I can say is that everyone look after your eyesight. Even if you're not having these procedures, I would start going to the opticians because we don't realise this. I was at Moorfields Eye Hospital, but there's so many things can go wrong with your eyes. So yeah, start looking after your eyes. Don't take them for granted.
Well, they do say too much of something makes you go blind, but I can't remember what that is.
Our work.
Work. That's it. Yeah. So maybe that was the case.
It could have been in both eyes.
Unbelievable. Well, listen, Trev, very insightful. Just thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, and it's so great that, like we were saying, it's crazy because this was very real what happened to you, and you can see fine now. You've come at the other end of the process, but we'll always have this story, and we'll always be able to kind of like share this with our community, and just remember, like, if you are having to go through this, then you're there as well, Trev, to give advice and to share with any of our guys, you know, like what the process and how you felt. And they've always got this show to kind of look onto for any support and stuff, because that's what we're here for. We're like to support our members. So listen, Trev, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Okay, right. So I shall see you in 5. Okay, right.
See you in 5.
Cheers, Trev. See you in a bit. Right. Wow, what an absolute incredible story that is, isn't it? It's still crazy because me and Trev's chatting, and we were all the way through this process. But like, it's like until it actually happens to you, you don't know, do you? You know, you kind of put yourself in somebody's shoes, but it's madness, isn't it? It's just like what he's gone through there, but like incredible that his vision is restored and he's back to normal. Just stay healthy from now on, Trev. Be good. Okay, well, that's another show from Not Just Crew. Thank you to Trev. Thank you for all of you guys out there who've tuned in to watch it. And don't forget, November the 6th at Manchester, the Impossible Theatre, our Not Just Crew 5-year anniversary party, raising money for charity, having a wonderful time with everyone involved in aviation. We've got 14,000 people in our community and over 24,000 followers on LinkedIn. So everybody is welcome and invited to share this incredible event with us, to celebrate with Not Just Crew and your good selves, with live entertainment, welcome drinks, and just an absolutely brilliant time. Make it a reunion, make it a celebration just before Christmas. I know people's waiting for the rosters to come out, but yeah, all the links are available on our Not Just Crew website and all of our socials. So anyway, you've been watching Not Just Crew. Take care.